What do you think I would spend my days doing?
Yeah, what would you do if you weren't an activist?
To be honest, I don't think there was a way for me not to come across, activism, because it's what resonates with me as a person. It's what I grew up with. So yeah, that's second hotel basically in the same space, All you see in Dublin is cranes filling the skyline, nothing but cranes. To put up hotels when there are thousands of people sleeping on the street is just disgusting. Hey, you right? Dublin is dying, The people around here are going to be left with nothing. And there's not a lot of people, but it's the weather, and Facebook always doesn't work for organising. You need to keep a network of people. But it's great to see so many young people there.
We're going to keep moving now, okay? Pounds for need! Not for greed! Pounds for need! Not for greed! Town streets!
Our streets!
Town streets!
Our streets!
Town streets!
Our streets!
Pounds for need!
Not for greed!
Pounds for need!
Not for greed!
Town streets!
Our streets!
Our streets!
Who streets?
Our streets!
Take over the streets and walk the streets with the people, Mark. Get the people noticed. The homeless people of this country has to be noticed. We need housing for people. Housing for need. Housing for need.
Not for greed.
Dublin is nice.
Dublin at the minute, it's alright.
Dublin, it's very much changed.
Big changes, yeah.
It's like no one can afford to rent, no one can afford to move out.
Oh yeah, the house price is a disgrace. There's nowhere to live in Dublin anymore.
It's terrible. People living in tents. We never seen that when we were kids.
Mark's a good friend, he's a comrade, he's a fellow activist. He's very passionate about what he does, very inspiring as a person. Sorry. Hello, how are you?
Resistance Choir, we sing in support and solidarity, fighting injustice, fighting for equality.
If they're going to come down. Hopefully we will.
Once you go down the activism route, it's very hard to switch off.
Yeah.
Even when you say, I'm going to switch off.
Being involved in the city, it's just, the city is so much of kind of the urban decay sets in and your mindset sets to change, everything around it,
And no matter what you do, you can't avoid that. And it comes out in your work. It comes out in your script writing. It comes out in any art I do. It's really, really rewarding sometimes when you get someone into activism, or you get them into politics, and you watch them grow and have their own opinions on things. And because none of us are born activists, there comes a point where you just say, you look around you and you say, this isn't right. It's time for me to make a change, go off and make a difference. I think that's what's really crucial in what we're doing. I love it when you can see the city from the distance.
Oh, it's gorgeous,
Everyone's private yachts down in the marina.
yeah. When we get a yacht, Mark, what do you think?
If you get a yacht before this housing crisis is sorted, I'll kill you myself.
Last year, tens of thousands of people showed up to housing demonstrations in Dublin. A grassroots organisation called Take Back the City was formed from this, and we started occupying houses across the city to highlight the crisis. We occupied a house on Frederick Street, but after 2 weeks, masked men hired by the landlord, supported by the Gardaí, evicted the activists, assaulted and arrested them. After that, a lot of the activists became burnt out. And a year later, the house we occupied still stands vacant.
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Just mixed feelings viewing this place again. Haven't been up this close in
A long time.
a long time.
Not climbed the wall.
Yeah, you want to get back in?
Did you bring the crowbar?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I did. Don't get that on camera.
That's
incriminating. Across the street, there was a man who was homeless. And I'm looking at this building that could easily be turned into multiple apartments. Let's go. People tried to glamorise Dublin and make it out to be a place where, you know, paint a picture where everything seems to be okay.
Yeah, things have definitely got to change. Even in the last 3 years, it's boomed in homelessness. It's tents everywhere. Every lane you're turning into, there's tents. It's a lot.
It's amazing if you look up every once in a while in Dublin, all you see is empty buildings and
Nobody really
cranes.
looks up. You see, that's the thing. Nobody really looks up. They're all going around with their heads at this height. Look up a bit. Have a look at the buildings, man. They're all empty. It's like a circle. It's just going round and round. And no progress whatsoever. God forbid one of their kids was out in the street.
Be a lot different story then.
Yeah, it'd be a big different. It'd be in the news and all then, wouldn't it? One of us stories you barely heard about it.
Every time I end up talking to somebody, it's hard to contain yourself, your emotions. All you have to do is really listen, and because everyone's story, even though they're homeless, everyone has a different story of how they experienced homelessness in this country. You know, the pain that they go through nearly every day. If it was your flesh and blood, would you turn your back on them? That's the question that you'd have to ask, you know?
Years ago we had nothing, but everybody was the same. We shared.
Like, can't afford just to live in Dublin city centre anymore, being forced out.
It's really a serious issue that is affecting virtually everybody.
The government needs, they're paid to solve problems, not create them.
And what people like Patrick did, with the help of all the other housing activists, and I appreciate everybody who's come out tonight, I appreciate all the housing groups. Everybody deserves a secure, safe and affordable roof over their head.
We need to push back against the idea of who this city is really for. Because at the moment it's very one-sided, isn't it? We need to start insisting again, like we did last year, that this is our city and not theirs. It has to be about recapturing the kind of energy we had on the streets of Dublin last year. That kind of energy, that kind of unity is what we need again. And let's keep it going and let's rebuild the housing movement here in this city. Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Whose homes? Our homes! Whose city? Our city! Stand up, fight back! When activist rights are under attack! Stand up, fight back! When activist rights are under attack! Stand up, fight back! Migrant rights are under attack! Stand up, fight back! When activist rights are under attack! Stand up, fight back! When activist rights are under attack!
Do you feel like you're sacrificing a part of your youth or your adolescence to be a part of something?
I definitely feel older than I actually am.
Yeah. And sometimes you feel like you're making a sacrifice between this other life you could be living if you weren't so involved. But you kind of think of all the friends and all the bonds that you've made with people who have excellent personalities and fantastic empathy for the world and really see the world in a different sense that benefits everybody,
You could ask the question, do you think you're missing something out of this? Do you think you're losing out on something? And I could easily say yes. But I could also say, I wouldn't change it for the world. I would rather be involved in this.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing the right thing by doing this. So I'm losing out on something, but I'm gaining so much more.
Yeah.
Even though he bra, he shall